Hey, everybody. It is yours truly, Dr. Shamika Dean. Y'all come on in. As you are tuning in, do me a quick favor and share. If you just caught that other blooper, listen, just know that I am a real human being. and sometimes I mess up, okay? But anywho, y'all come on in. If you are new to me, welcome. If you are a replay viewer, then welcome back. And thank you so much for your continued support. I can only do what I do because of amazing people like you. So thank you. Um, Again, make sure you comment and let me know where you are tuning in from. And also be nice and share with others and let them know that we are live on Channel 5. No, seriously, I'm about to extract some edges today. Just so y'all know, this one right here, I've been waiting to do this one. Okay. So just be prepared. So I always try to give a little bit of a disclaimer when I go live, and I tell people, I am known for extracting edges, taking back a few toupees from a fellas, and loosening lashes and lace fronts. And so when I say that, what I mean is that I'm known for telling you the truth that's going to transform your life, because I believe that belief systems become birthing systems, and the things that we see happening in our lives as a result of what we believe, and also things that we need to change, because I also believe that language is a locator. And sometimes your language is simply locating you, which is why you keep attracting certain things in your life and you continue to experience certain things in your life, especially for my business owners. We're going to be talking today about some pricing. Hey, Consuela, how are you? Hey, Angel, how are you? Yeah, so again, let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm going to have to pull up my phone to see my Facebook audience, because for some reason, I can't see your comments on my page, but I see you over there. Hey, Chandra. Hey, Teresa. Hey, Patricia. Hello. So again, we're going to be talking about a little bit about pricing today. One of the things I run into is, the comparison of someone else charging a certain amount, right? And you're doing something similar to them, but it seems like they're able to charge a whole lot more money and people are paying them. And you're looking at it like, why, are they paying them? Or you may have the mindset that it shouldn't cost that much, right? And so that's what I want to talk about today. The topic of this video is very, very clear, straightforward. And I wanted it to be like that because I wanted people who are really ready for transformation to happen in their businesses, I wanted those people to tune in. And so the topic of this video says, don't criticize their prices, raise yours, right? So one thing that really irks my jerk, ruffles my rumpers, and burns both sides of my biscuits is when I hear someone complaining about someone else's prices and stating things like it's not worth all of that, or they shouldn't be charging that, or they're ripping said person off, ripping people off, or whatever the case may be. When the reality is that you don't have the confidence to charge what you should be charging. You don't have the confidence to increase your own prices, right? And so it's easy for you to tell somebody else or to assume that what they have to offer is not really worth it. But let me say this. This is why, and I want you to write this in the comments, branding is important. Branding is important. Marketing is important, but branding is just as important. Because when you take the time to build a reputable brand, you've taken the time to build your reputation, you've taken the time to make your name known out in these streets. When your name carries weight, you can charge what you desire to charge, as long as what you're charging aligns with the value that your clients are getting, right? There are some people that will say, that they wouldn't pay for Louis Vuitton. They wouldn't pay that, right? That is too much. And they'll say it's not worth it. But let me say this, and I want you to write this in the comments too, okay? Just because you don't see the value in it Let me say it again. Just because you don't see the value in it doesn't mean that the value is not there. Type that in the comments. Just because you don't see the value in it doesn't mean that the value is not there. Because it doesn't matter what your prices are. Somebody somewhere is going to pay it. You know why? Because pricing is not a people problem, it's a personal problem. I told y'all I came to extract a few edges today. I came to extract a few edges. Why? Because people will pay for whatever they want to pay for. That's why Louis Vuitton is still in business. That's why Versace is still in business. That's why Lamborghini is still in business. That's why Bentley is still in business, because pricing is not a people problem, it's a personal problem. And so what happens is, if you don't personally believe that what you have is worth it, guess what? The people that are coming to you, they won't either. They'll begin to complain about your prices. They'll begin to tell you that it's not worth it. They'll begin to tell you they can go find it somewhere else cheaper, and they shall. If that's what they choose to, they shall. Okay? So again, type this in the chat box as well. Pricing is not a people problem, it's a personal problem. You have to believe that what you have to offer is valuable enough for people to pay that price. It starts and ends with you, because people have money, and it's evident because all of these other businesses are still in business and people are still paying for exactly what they want. But what I see is that I've seen people complain so much about what the next person is charging. And what I've come to realize is that it really is not that person's prices are too high. It's simply that individual or these people do not have the confidence to increase their own prices. And it's always easy to criticize and complain about what someone else is doing, because it takes the focus off of what you should be doing. It takes the focus off of the root of the reality that you do not have the confidence or the right pricing strategy to charge the revenue that you really want to charge. And so you begin to be baffled and confused in your mind, and you're like, why would they pay that much? How is it that we sell the same thing, but they're paying this person twice as much and they won't even shop over here, right? And I sell this too. Again, as I said before, branding is your business's reputation. So what are you known for? Branding matters, because when you brand properly, your name carries weight. And when your name carries weight, you can charge what you want to charge. So the question that you should be asking yourself is, have I done my due diligence to build a brand? Because again, the branding is your business's reputation. That is what people know you for. That's what's being said about you out here in these streets. Okay. And so if your reputation does not align with the revenue that you should be charging, then guess what? Nobody's going to pay you that price. So when clients come to me, and I tell people this, I said, I don't have people complaining about my prices. And the reason is because I stand solid on and truly believe in the value and the transformation that I help my clients to achieve. So no, I don't have that problem. And I'm not shy about letting people know the investment that I charge. I'm not shy about letting people know that. Okay. So people already know and they expect it. So here's the thing I want you to understand. When a person is ready to invest, they have already decided in their mind the highest level of investment that they're willing to make. Hear me and hear me well. When a person is ready to invest in their business, before they come to you, they have already decided the highest level of investment they are willing to make. And that is why I always tell you, it is not a personal problem. It's not a people problem. It's a personal problem. So again, they're already prepared. But here's what happens oftentimes. Number one, if you don't believe in that value, they're not going to pay it. Number two, okay, I'm sorry, I saw something, got distracted. They already believe in, you have to believe in the value, or people are not going to pay it, right? Pricing is the perceived value of your product. Put that in the chat box. Pricing is the perceived value of your product. What does that mean? Is when someone looks at your prices, they've already decided the value. They've already decided the quality based on the pricing that you have put out there. Okay? Pricing is also a language, and language is a locator. So what happens is when you price too low, your price is not locating the people who are ready to pay you or who see the value in the work that you're creating for them or the work that you're doing for them. I'm going to say it again. Pricing is the perceived value of your product. Pricing is also a language, and language is a locator. So the reason why we have to understand the dynamics of the language that we use with our pricing is because if you are promising a level of quality and excellence and your pricing, if you are promising, let's just say Louis Vuitton value, right? You're saying that, but your pricing says Payless Shoe Store or Shoe City. They're not going to take you seriously. They're not going to believe that you can really give them what you say you're going to give them because your pricing sounds like a lie. So again, when your prices are too low or too high, just depending on which, because it can go either way. When your prices are too low or too high, potential clients, again, they are not convinced. They're not convinced that you are the one that can actually help them get to where they want to be. Okay. So here's the thing. When it comes to pricing, and this is what I take my clients through in my programs. This is one of the things I take them through. The first step is we have to identify the belief systems that are preventing you from charging what you should. Because there is a belief system connected to the way that you are pricing your programs. Something inside of you is saying, I don't really believe that this is worth it. I don't really believe that I should be charging this much. I don't feel comfortable charging this much. There's no growth in comfort. So let's just say that. Let's just get that out there. There's no growth in comfort. And oftentimes the price you think you should be charging, you actually should be charging more. The second thing is is being able to identify the transformation that people are going to receive when they purchase a product or service from you. The third thing is you have to create the right messaging that aligns with the price and the transformation that they're going to receive. And then the fourth step is to now present your pricing and watch your revenue increase. Okay? Because I want you to also understand, for some of you, you may be like, well, this is not just a beginning business owner problem. This is a scaling problem. This is a next level problem. Because every time you get ready to go to a new level, you should be reviewing and assessing your prices to make sure your prices align. A lot of people are burnt out right now in their business, not because their product isn't good, not because it's not doing what it's supposed to do, but they're burnt out because they aren't charging what they should be charging. And so what happens is now you have to do more work because you got to get more people, you got to generate more leads, and you got to serve all of these people, and then you lead to burnout. Right? And most of the times you already know. Somebody asked me, how do you know when you should increase your prices? When you ask the question. I'm going to say it again. How do you know when you should increase your prices? The answer to that is when you ask the question. because something inside of you is already telling you that you're not charging enough. When you're doing all of the work, you're not finding the joy that you used to have in it because you are overworked and underpaid. The same way you felt when you were an employee on the job you were on and you knew that you should be making more money. And you knew that when they gave you that 25-cent raise that out of you working a whole year, that it was a slap in the face because of all that you brought to that company. So that's evidence right there that you should be increasing your pricing. Now, how do you increase your pricing? That is something that you probably would need help with, because your pricing is not just on, you know, the service that you're offering. Your pricing has a lot to do also with the transformation that you're going to help people get. What value are you adding to their lives? What transformation are you helping them to make? And so I see a lot of people get stuck right here, or I see a lot of people who get stuck in a place where they're probably giving away a lot of things free, or they probably feel like, well, the only way I can increase my prices, and if this is you, just say me, you feel like the only way you can increase your prices is by adding more stuff to what you're offering. If that's you, type me in the comments. Hey Chandra, hey Brianna, hey Rua, I think that's it. Yeah, so you have the mindset to, you know, probably under promise, over deliver, or you feel like, well, I just need to add all this extra stuff. Or if you increase your prices, you feel like you need to do more work. Not true. You just need to know exactly what you bring to the table and how it's going to transform these people's lives. That's what you need to understand. See, where we get caught up at sometimes with improper pricing is that we look at the fact that we can do this thing in our sleep with our hands tied behind our backs, with our eyes closed. And in our minds, we're thinking, oh, I'm not doing, you know, this is so easy for me, so I shouldn't be charging that much. They're not paying you for what you can do in 30 minutes. They're paying you for the 5-10 years of experience that you had to go through to be able to do this in 30 minutes. That's what they're paying you for. Okay. So what happens is you think in your mind, oh my God, you know what? It only took me 15 minutes to do this. Yeah, it took you 15 minutes to do it now, but it took you 15 years to be able to do it in 15 minutes. So there's education that you had to invest in. There are, things that you failed at. There are fears that you had to overcome. There are all of these other investments, education, whether it be school, whether it be investing in a coaching course or mastermind or whatever the case may be. It could be any of those things, but here's the thing, you're doing it. You are able to do more now because of all of what you did on the journey to get here. Okay. And so you don't diminish your pricing or the investment amount just because you can do this a lot quicker. That's what they're paying you for, because they don't have what's necessary to do what you did in 15, 20 minutes. All right. So that's all I had to share with y'all today. Again, don't criticize someone else's prices. Increase yours. Don't question someone else's prices. Because here's the thing, if you start questioning or complaining about other people's prices, guess what's going to happen when people come to you? They're going to question and complain about your prices. Here's the thing that I try to get people to understand, that the type of client or customer that you are is the type of client or customer that you're going to attract. So if you're always complaining or comparing someone else to, or complaining about or criticizing someone else's prices, if you're always trying to get a deal and hustle and find a way not to have to pay people full price, then you know what's happening to you? You're attracting the same type of customers and clients in your life. So if you really truly want to charge more, increase your prices, and people pay them, then you don't need to complain about someone else's prices, regardless of if it's outside of your budget or not, or outside of what you are willing to invest. Because I always tell people this, that your response to somebody else's revenue reveals what you truly believe is available for you. That's why if I look at someone who says they made, $3 million their first year in business, I'm not trying to operate from a place of skepticism. I got to stay in a posture of abundance, a mindset of abundance and possibility. Oh, if they can do it, it's possible for me, right? So what I'm going to do is, if it aligns, then I'm probably going to go and invest into that person, because I want to know what it is they did and how they did it. You can't spend your time criticizing someone else's business or someone else's journey or someone else's pocketbook and expect to have it happen in your life. Any questions, comments, or concerns, or is it time for me to do an altar call? And should I take an offering? I'm just kidding. No offering, I promise. But any questions, comments, or concerns, you can type them in the chat box real quick, and I'll try to answer them. I know there's a little bit of a delay, so I'll give you an opportunity to ask before we wrap her up. So we're going to close it up with this. Again, don't criticize their prices. Just raise yours. So Kimberly says, how do you handle if you're just starting a business, so you don't have any testimonials regarding the validity of the service you offer? So my response to that is, that means absolutely nothing if you have proof that what you are teaching works. Before you can get a testimonial from others, you have to be a product of the product. So does it work for you? Do you have proven results that what you are teaching works? That is the question to be asked. Because if you don't have anything, if you haven't gone through the process, if it hasn't worked for you, then how does anyone else know that what you're teaching actually works and it's not just a theory, right? Now, when you're first starting out, of course, you can do a lower investment amount to get the testimonials. Also, here's the thing that I want you to understand is, just because someone hasn't exchanged income for you to help them doesn't mean that you haven't helped them. Doesn't mean that you don't have a testimonial. So is there anyone that you've taken through your process that has gotten results that you can use them as a testimonial? Start there first, because that's how most people start. When I first started out, I didn't have nobody has testimonials when they first start out. No one, right? And so what you have to do again is, if you have someone that they just didn't pay you, but you did help them, then you can use those testimonials to start your business. Hey, Nick T, I think we sent you something to schedule a session, so make sure you check your email. Any other questions? That was a really good question, LaKimberly. Any other questions? So I had one client that she had been doing, offering her service for years, like pro bono, for years. She helped people get out of debt. She helped people, invest. She helped people save money. She helped people get out of, not having to pay tax debt. She was helping do all of this stuff, but she was just doing it for free. But those were still her clients. And the testimonials were real, whether they paid her or not. So that's an opportunity, for you again. If you have, and I mean, you want your testimonies to be legitimate, you want them to be real, right? But sometimes that's how a lot of business owners do start out. They were just doing it for free. And eventually they realized the value they had and that it could become a legitimate business. And so because they realized it could become a legitimate business, they started charging people for their products and services. And because of that, now they have more clients and they are successful in business because they began to operate as a business. And so that's where you want to start. Okay. But again, um that's where I want you to start. Any other questions before I wrap it up? Trying to make sure, because for some reason the comments on Facebook are not showing up on my screen, and unless you're on my business page. So I'm having to kind of look at my phone to see the comments from my personal page here. You are welcome, LaKimberly. All right, y'all. I'm gonna jump off here. Thank you so much for tuning in. You have any more questions, you know where to find me. If you're looking to scale your business to 6 figures, if you're a service-based provider and you're looking to scale your business to 6 figures, then make sure you send me a message in my DM and I will share with you how you can submit an application for us to possibly work together. All right. Talk to y'all soon.